Hello?
Oh, hello. Go.
Not much. You guys ready to play?
Chelsea's getting on right now.
Uh-oh. Okay. Thought I couldn't remember my Steam password for a minute. Why suddenly asking me for it? Been putting the password for Steam in years.
Yeah. We're having like server issues yesterday or the day before for a little bit. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Hmm. Dying.
Are you good with the baby monitor, or do you want me to have it?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, Steam is taking a while.
2 guys.
I can't go with this guy though. He's a bray.
Mm.
I have an update.
No worries.
It's probably not too big. It's just the event ending update.
Actually, wasn't one of them huge? I thought I had like a huge one. It might not have been in this. Maybe it was in Baldur's Gate. I had a huge update on something recently though.
Oh, it's done already.
Okay, not that one then.
You sound like we did a couple of days ago.
I've been very sick since last Wednesday. I actually feel the best I've ever felt since I got sick today, but still got this cough. That just will not go away. Actually had a positive COVID test. It was an at-home test. And then I went to the doctor and I got 2 negative tests. So I don't know.
Weird.
The at-home test was expired, but the doctor was like, that's still weird though, because like, if it was expired, it'd be more likely to be a false negative than a false positive.
That is weird. Steam is just like going slow.
Guys got any ideas for horror games? Although it sounds like Marcus knows what he wants to do already, but with a game about drawing doors, you could kind of just work in whatever. This is the beauty of a horror game, is you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I was trying to actually make something. Sorry, you're gonna hear me cough and hack up a bunch of bullshit and spit it a lot. I apologize.
I'm also very phlegmy.
I will try to mute my mic. Remember to mute my mic. If I was trying to make something actually scary, I would do something David Lynchy, meaning like a normal scene where something's a little off and everyone else in the scene just seems to think it's normal.
Yeah.
There we go, finally, jeez.
Like I would make a very grounded, real-worldy kind of game, and you know, then suddenly have you're at Thanksgiving dinner and the turkey starts bleeding like an Eraserhead. And everyone is just like, I'm hungry, let's eat turkey, and everyone's got blood all over their faces, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Actually, doing that with a multiplayer game would be kind of amazing. Where you're all together and only one of you is seeing the weird thing. That's a good idea.
That is not a bad idea.
Also, on top of that, it's a drinking game called You Guys Seeing This. And every time everyone says that, they have to take 2 shots.
All right, I think I need to be invited again.
I just should have.
Yeah. Thanks.
You guys are all going ranged, huh?
How do you think you pronounce that name?
My guy's name?
Carne? Carney?
Carne? Sierney.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sierney.
Or Cerny? Cernay?
Thought
It's
C's were
definitely
like
Irish.
always hard in Irish.
I'm definitely not playing him right now, though. He's too high up for me to kill.
Here, I'm gonna buy another hunter. Are you guys going with scoped guns, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with whatever this guy has. Or not. Okay. I get that, bro.
Is that a scarf? That's cool. The little tear things. That's neat. Very, very cool. Very pretty.
Oh yeah, Chelsea was showing me some of Lauren's
Jeff says Chelsea was showing
stuff.
him some
Very
of
cool.
your stuff.
I like
and
the
it's very cool.
pumpkins. They're pumpkins, right?
He likes the pumpkins. Do you want a pumpkin? Lauren can
No, that's okay.
give or make you guys a pumpkin. Take some of it. Please take some of it. There's so much of it. Ugh.
Ooh, I gotta.
Forgot to hit ready. Oh gosh. I had to play this game to the very end, apparently.
But me and Dave the other day, we got our fucking asses handed to us all day. There were a couple matches where Dave did pretty well. I had a couple matches at the beginning that were good, but other than that, it was just stomping after stomping. And constantly caught between teams, stepping on people, it was the worst. But what made it notable was how fucking long it was. It was insane. I may need to make myself a tea. Not stop coughing.
Long as in, like, in between games, it took a long time to load, or?
Long as in it was 8 hours of constant losing.
Oh. Ouch.
We probably won 2 games in that amount of time. that honey around, Lauren? I don't know where that is.
I'm getting like great frame rate for some reason.
Did you accidentally turn on Vulcan or something? Sorry. You guys might have to get the first clue while
Oh,
I
it's
sit and
here.
sip here for a... Oh, right on. Good.
Whoa.
I'm gonna sip on this tea for even longer than you guys handle this. Okay.
Oh, we're here. Did we say that? Is it? Sorry. I don't. I was off in my own world for a second.
It's here.
Where are we at? Catfish Grove. Catfish and lanes are the most boring places. I don't like them.
Well, shit.
There's a hammer.
I'm gonna start setting traps out here. There's a trapped red barrel right here.
I think there's probably a good one to try. Yeah, like here probably. It's a good one.
That one is an amazing one, but there is nowhere to put it down on the ground that isn't terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the most annoying red barrel in the game for that reason. You can't put it like this. You can only put it literally where... I'm not sure how anyone would literally ever hit this. They'd have to try. This is the best you can do. I will trap it just in case. Like, maybe someone might want to run or try and take cover.
Shit.
So I'm gonna get this yellow one here. Well, shit.
Kill yourself, did you?
I lit myself on fire. Didn't kill myself though.
There's a health right here.
Okay, just kill this fucker and get my shit back.
I might die.
I think whoever killed him.
Oh no!
That was me.
What happened, Jeff?
Oh no! I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, I got killed by a monster.
I know, but I started vanishing.
That's okay. That just means he'll get up
I get my
with
stuff
not
back.
full health. Yeah, he just doesn't get it. You should wait until they're up, but only because then they don't need to heal themselves. They have the
There's
same
a-
max health either way.
Okay. Well, I was like vanishing as
There's a
he
health in here.
died, so.
There's a health in here somewhere. Let me point out where all the red barrels are to you guys. Ready? There's one right here. There's one back here on the stairs going up. They're mostly on the back porch, and then there's this one.
Alright.
Just stay off the back porch. The one that's through here. are the less valuable bounty here, I would say. Unless, are we in the small area? I didn't even look.
I don't even know. We were so fast.
I feel like it was kind of split down the middle. But
Good, good. Okay, well, okay, then we're only slightly less valuable target because we have an easier escape. Shit's about to go down
oops.
in an indeterminate amount of time. Yeah, I would go for the other team first if I was anywhere. I'm at pretty much. So I was maybe at Chapel. We might actually get away with this scot-free. Hey Jeff, can you do me a huge favor? Are you player 2?
Yes.
Can you go to my red barrel and ping exactly where the trap was so that if I shot at that exact spot through the wall, I would blow it up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a kill with this barrel, first one ever probably. Okay. Wait, is that that looks like the, okay, that's the closer one, I see.
That's the
That is the better one to shoot at though, because if I
the
miss at
bad one you
least.
said.
It is the bad one, but I'm saying you ping to the side of the trap mechanism closer to the barrel, right? Which is actually probably
Yeah.
the better
I
one to
thought
shoot
that's
at,
the one you
because
had to shoot. Yeah.
you shoot either of them, but
Oh,
uh,
it is bigger.
I do want to shoot this one because if I miss, I'll still at least trigger the barrel. Just immediately behind it. But nobody's gonna show up, I feel like. Actually, I can see it. Alright, I'm gonna spin quick. Nobody. You wanna leave or you wanna go get in that fight? We have a very immediate exit. Might as well probably leave, right?
Yeah.
I'm poor as shit from the other day with Dave. I'm very, very poor right now.
Well, then let's get out quick then and
For
get
my
as much money as we
standards.
can.
Yes, I would not mind leaving. Toolbox here. I should have used it because I have alert mines, so it won't give me anything good ever.
We're already doing better, Chris.
Bro, me and Dave got out a single time. Even in matches where we did well, we died at the end. Or took a bounty out.
shitload of traits to spend.
Also remember, you can respec now without spending blood bonds, which is awesome. Every change they make in this game on this massive, on a large level
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. Constantly getting better. You've been following me and Marcus complaining about this Unity shit in the chat?
Yeah, I have seen.
It's really bothering me.
It is like so.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up. Like the most ballsy, fucked up thing you could do.
Yeah, like, do they really think like?
So that's
It's not like they
the
have a
thing that's the
monopoly.
thing that's been obsessing me is like the idea of like why, even from a business standpoint, like why? And the people think they have a reason, which is that there's some okay. The theory I've heard actually is that they have this analytics thing that they also do, and it sucks and no one uses it. Um, and they want to muscle out or like take market share from this other one that a bunch of mobile game companies use so that they
Mhm.
could charge more for ads and take a huge chunk out of the mobile game space. And like the other they just didn't like management just thought of that, literally didn't think about other developers really, and just was like that will bring in money and we will look good because that's it's literally my fiduciary duty to fucking make really really short-sighted decisions.
Yeah, like it is totally mind-boggling.
But basically there's some I've heard a thing where basically like their plan is to tell devs that like if they migrate, and they apparently already have reached out to some offering them this, they're like, we will waive your fee entirely, your install fee entirely, if you switch to our data analytics service. And apparently it's illegal for them to do that. So they are doing it. Get in actual trouble.
It's like what they're doing now seems illegal.
That is not illegal, but it's unenforceable, is what I've heard lawyer people say about it. Like it's not like
Yeah.
illegal, but it is. There's getting people to legally, compelling people to pay it is going to be like impossible,
Mm-mm.
is what I have heard. It's taking a long time.
Yeah, it is.
You still don't want near you.
Ew.
But
I'm looking at a 23-year-old Mexican rapper who surgically implanted gold chains into his head to serve as his hair.
well, that's just decadent.
It actually looks heavy.
Yeah.
Uh,
And one of his lines must be, "Heavy is the head that wears the crown, son."
Whoa.
I might.
I
No.
need a new
Okay.
mouse. My right click just doesn't stay down anymore. And also, my middle mouse button almost always double clicks when I push it once.
Hmm.
Are there... Wait, is there still gator traps?
The gator is supposedly still around and can be on one bounty maps, but
Oh
the whole
yeah.
day me
It's
and
right here.
Dave played, we did not see a single gator like thing. So
Yeah,
I'm not
there it is.
sure.
He's right here. Or the
Trap.
trap.
Yeah, that could literally be anywhere, just pointing down the river.
Fuck me.
Thanks, Rotjaw. Did we not get the clue?
I got it. I got it. Oh shit! It is a rot jaw. Did you guys find a rot jaw trap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun. Haven't done that in a while.
No, now that I don't have Mariner, probably die.
Now that it's not raining all of the time when the crocodile's out, Mariner's not going to be as awesome as it once was. Still be
Well, just
good.
being in the water just was...
Yeah, it'll still be
Yeah.
definitely good. Like, there's always value to something that heals you without it using a health kit. That's always amazing. But it was, like, super amazing in the event because it was raining so frequently.
Yeah.
Okey doke. Other side of the map.
Do we want to...
Which direction was Rotjaw?
Just
Like-
down the river.
Yeah, like pointing straight down the river. It could literally be anywhere.
We can go to Lower DeSalle. I love Lower DeSalle. It's Cowboy Town.
Yeah.
Up to you guys, though. We can also do Rotjaw.
I mean, I think it'll be kind of hard to find.
Thanks.
No problem. I'm sorry.
I don't think you are. Just kidding.
I'm not. You're right. We'll be fine. No one's around.
I'm looking for help. No, you're not gonna open? Alright, that's cool.
There's sometimes a health spawn. Sometimes a barrel spawn too. Up right here. Yep, right here. Right here.
One there too.
A red barrel. Damn. Sounds like a lockjaw is down by Forked River, maybe? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, maybe. Even further.
Coming up on Lower DeSalle here. Gonna be quiet now. Shit. try and get in here.
It's right there.
Person. Right here. Backing off. I'm shot. Nope. Okay. Whew. Backing up further. Fight with the weapon I have. Oh, they're tracking me with a beetle.
Right there. Okay, well, let me ping through the fence.
Whoa, they're shooting at me.
2 of them.
Right
Fuck.
there.
Yeah.
Open door.
Up. There.
I'm rotating a little bit.
There. I think they're all getting in that red house.
This one?
This one.
No.
That one, okay.
Fuck. They got me.
I have necro, but they can probably see you, right?
Don't know. I'm not like in the middle of nowhere.
I think they're coming.
They're very, very, very close to me. They're like right here.
Fuck. How'd I miss?
I'm dead. I'm a dead man soon.
Oh, son of a bitch. So am I.
I'm dead. Alright. I don't know why I went and gotten close. I was trying to get a shot in with my pistol. I shouldn't have shot there. They didn't see me. I should have waited till my shot was good.
They snuck around behind me.
I was so close to one. I could have absolutely killed him if I had a shotgun, but and he didn't see me. I should have just fucking blasted him with my Winfield. I don't know why I didn't. I switched to my knife, hoping that he would push her. He would realize I was shot and try and push around the train, and I'd stab him in the face. But he did not do that either. Fire at me instead.
the rain like a permanent weather it can be now?
I think so. It has been in rotation.
Lunchbox here.
Alright, find it. We'll come for us, because fuck wants to go to ours. Although people do it. I say why.
Did you just stab me?
Not on purpose. Oh, I'm getting beads from somewhere.
This is still on the map. I'm trapping this clue. This is a great clue to trap.
Now I'm getting bees. You led the bees to me. Oh, Chelsea's trying to kill
Don't
me.
come out here. Watch out, I trapped a barrel right here. And there's health right here. Let's go to Blanc and hope it's Blanc, because if it's Lawson, we're fighting anyway, probably.
Ooh, that was
Oh, maybe it
kinda
is
cool.
Lawson. That was a Lawson shot.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Need help? Just fine.
Nah. Thanks, Jeff.
Wait, where the fuck am I going? I'm going the wrong way.
There are
Go.
birds.
It does sound like it's definitely a Lawson, but I'm just gonna check Blanc real quick, just in case it's actually here. Okay, it is at Blanc. It Lawson. It must be. Yep. All right. Do you like Lawson?
It is the best one, in my opinion.
Shit, I just set off dogs so they know we are coming. It sounds like they don't give a shit. They're busy killing each other. So
Yeah.
fucking. Or killing the boss, that probably was, I guess.
Yeah, they just vanished.
I'm trying to. Ah, fuck.
Trapping a
he
barrel
saw me.
right here. And right here.
Kinda need help.
Where you at?
Very far away.
I'm gonna die to the simulator.
keep running, keep running. Okay. They knew we were coming anyway, right? The birds.
Well, maybe they thought the birds were just because of the,
Careful, there's a lot of, there's red barrel right here, red barrel right there that I trapped. Although it's raining. Actually, you might have even walked through my trap. No, you did not. They are in this house. Way up far from this one. Let me go in the backyard and get up on top of it.
think where they are again. Got the main building.
Oh, somebody just threw fucking concertina all over themselves. Fuck, how did he stab me to death? I fucking accidentally flipped off my thing. God damn it, I had one and I cannot play this game lately. I cannot play this game lately. Fuck me. One on the roof. I fucking had him. Oh, I can't believe I blew that.
Like near your body, Chris? I thought I had shot him, but apparently not.
Oh fuck! Jesus! Son of a bitch!
I was shooting at him to get him away, get him to run.
Got a bullet, Chelsea.
Well,
Disaster.
Nice shot, Joe. Nice shot.
did you get him? Oh,
I don't think so.
somebody was.
Oh, somebody else
sneaking
coming
around.
in. That's not them out there, right?
I don't think so.
Maybe retreat and try and get Chelsea
Yeah.
while there's other shit going on. Oh, you had that.
Ah, fuck!
Fuck. Damn, they came the same way, huh? Fuck me. I can't fucking play this game lately. Seriously, I'm doing so poorly. Like, that whole other day, I did so bad. I fucked up so many easy things. Same thing today. I just can't play this game lately.
If you don't want to play, we don't have to play anymore.
I want to continue playing. The only reason not to is that I'm using. Since I was sick, I literally couldn't like use a vaporizer. Every time I would even try, my body would just fucking die coughing. So I literally couldn't. And so, you know, I'm a week and a half now into quitting using the vaporizer again, and losing is making me mad and making me want to use it right now. I'll do one more, but I can't If this next one goes bad, I will probably be done.
Okay.
For me, if it goes bad for me. Don't worry about you guys. I just. Oh my god, I fucking had him so easy. All I had to do was keep clicking the button. Keep clicking the left button. I tried to swap to my, but he got some distance between me and him. And I tried to swap to my pistol and accidentally swapped to my empty shotgun. And then he turned around and knifed me. Hmm. Alright, time to go try hard mode. I have a Mosin and 2 Caldwell Paxes, although I should make these new armies. Did Marcus come in? I thought I heard Marcus come in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. It looks like Dave came in too.
Actually, I don't really want to kill this guy. I think I'm gonna just.
Good news is there's almost no way it can go worse than that last match for me, because there is literally no worse feeling than knowing you have a guy dead to rights and having him murder you when you're at a huge advantage over him. I also, one thing that did throw me though, like he was on the roof, so I expected him to have a roofie gun, but he also had a fucking either a Romero or a Caldwell. It had to be one of those two. Probably a Romero because he switched after one shot. Well, but I got to the top of that log. I saw him like maybe 12 meters away. Moved closer, like 8 meters. Shot my shot and missed. And when over, he started to retreat, and so I for sure thought he had like a rifle. And I went over the wood thing, and he had a shotgun, which he shot at me and also missed. And I big stabbed him once and missed my small stab. Fucking tried to switch to my gun and he stabbed me. Fucker.
I don't know how I was missing the guy on the roof either. I was taking body shots and I didn't even hear any of the, like, I hit him noises.
Jeff had some nice shots. I saw Jeff fucking track the dude's whole head like across the whole roof and not shoot. Like you were just
I
on
wasn't
so
on
good.
it. I wasn't on it.
Were you not? Maybe it was not just on maybe on my screen it was like, were you aiming ahead of him?
It was like, yeah.
Okay, then that would make sense. On my screen it looked like you were right on him the whole time.
Yeah, no.
Yo.
Yo.
Okay.
Hello.
Got any horror game ideas for the Door Lord game? I was saying before, Marcus, like, with the door premise, you can kind of just do whatever you want. Whatever behind every door. You can throw a whole bunch of things behind all the doors if anyone has crazy ideas for what's behind the door.
Are we gonna have? The way I imagined it was like the door is like a interstitial place where you can have, where like a hub. Basically, it'll eventually be a hub where you have a bunch of doors. But like I imagine, you learn how to draw a door. You draw a door, it opens up the space to the hub space, and whatever's in there gets out. And then you have to run around, and you can use another door, draw another door, and then get back to that hub world that you let the thing out of. But now you'll have 2 doors in that hub. And then the idea is basically avoid the boss by drawing doors and setting yourself up to escape. You know, like, so if you're at a dead end and you're not dead, you can just draw a door and get out of it. And it's all about sort of avoiding the monster in that way. But new ideas right now, I'm just trying to figure out. I got most of the stuff hooked up, but like, so like, it is. Here, I'll stream a little bit if anyone's watching.
I'm not gonna be able to watch him play and hunt right now.
Elton Island.
Sure, I'll watch. I don't know if it's gonna be all blown
Hold
out.
on though. I will put
This Unity or Unreal?
Unity for now,
Unity.
because
there's people here. Oh, no, that's
we're
you.
doing the rune game, and yeah. Anyway, so like drawing.
Oh.
Right now it's shifted because there's a camera over. I forget where it is, but.
Marcus, when you're, I put your stream on my Discord, even though I'm not watching it. It's being recorded on the stream. Just tell me when you're done so I can remember to switch back to hunt. If you would, or somebody just remind me in like 5 minutes.
I will try to remember.
But
That's a real camera. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like the.
Sideways or something? Why is it?
What's that?
Why is the
Yeah,
horizon
sideways.
horizontal?
That's the problem I'm trying to fix right now, which is like basically the door, which this will eventually become a portal to a door, but we'll have to use a high-res texture and shit, and figure out some lighting shit. But the texture basically fills out the 4 corners of the detected corners of the room, and then.
We can't
It
get
is surprisingly difficult to like what's called tessellate, where you like say I have this this square of points or whatever, and there's a point like here, 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 here. It's surprisingly difficult to know how to do this, just to connect them like this.
That way.
Yeah.
Because they're in 3D space. It's kind of a weird thing. So what I do is I take the points as they are. I project them onto a plane like this, and here's the plane. And they get projected onto here. Onto the plane is just the normal plane. But I need them all to be, because theoretically I could draw them like across here, right? And then they wouldn't be on the same surface. So I project them outwards onto a plane, like an imaginary plane out here. And then on the I take that plane and I rotate the whole plane to be on the X and Y axis. And then I take that. Once I have that, I can do some geometry to figure out the order of them, like to get them sorted in a clockwise direction. Like that. And once I have it clockwise, there's no guarantee of which one's first. So then I have to sort it to, or then I figure out which 2 are the top 2, and then the left, then the leftmost one of that I consider to be the top left. So then I resort the whole array to be left first and then clockwise. So that all works.
What if they draw like a weird rhombus or something?
I mean, the classifier is still working, but like
so it has to be a good rectangle to do it.
It has to be enough of this is like not a good enough rectangle. Also, the classifier has to be slightly retrained because of the fact that we're only doing it on one, and the square is slightly more likely to be misconstrued as a triangle. But anyway, but like it
There's
works
somebody
basically
here.
for this kind of situation. But the problem
Let me
is
just hit a trap.
this, right? So
Birds
I
here.
can redo
Let me
these
just hit another
UVs however
trap.
we want, but you'll notice that, so here are these are the point orders basically, and so you'll see it goes red. It's supposed to go red, green, blue, and purple. Is ideally how these points are actually being drawn. But like, if you notice when I draw this and look at it,
I'm gonna die. Fuck me.
so well actually yeah, wait, so this is gonna be easier to show you from one angle.
Nice.
So
Son of a bitch.
basically,
They're in here fighting above me. Also, there's a group out here in this tower. I got shot by them when I went down here.
and so basically these here, these points out that I've like sort of moved off to the side so I can see them better. This is red, green, blue, purple. It's technically up here. Oh, it's actually right there. But these are like
Okay, they somebody
projected
snuck
onto
up
the
on me with a
XY
shotgun.
plane, and
I don't
then
know
you
how.
basically do the
I didn't hear that.
do the rotation projected onto this plane. This happens to just also be the XY plane. So this is correct, but this is what happens here when I rotate it back to be on the plane that it was originally supposed to be. So you could probably notice again here, those points are going to be there again. Oh well, this is what happens when I fuck up and it
Watch it.
doesn't
If anyone goes
recognize where
up there,
the
watch that red barrel. I
pointers
did
actually
get a
are
trap on
properly.
it.
But let's find a better one.
Careful, they have
So here
shotguns
you
up
can
there.
kind
If
of
I was
see
you guys,
this side is the red, green, blue, purple plane, and this one going in the XY direction. But when I rotate it back, because I am just using quaternions to rotate it back, I guess maybe that's why this is happening. It does it sort of jumbles up the points again, in a way that is hard to predict. Really weird because it flops. See how it like
Fucking door
flops
there.
it even flops the order.
try just standing.
I don't fully understand how it does it. Maybe I have a bug somewhere that just maybe
Yeah.
can't do this.
I think I can help you.
It's surprisingly complex to do such a fucking what is such a simple thing of like I want 2 triangles. But the problem is like all I have are the 4 points. And I don't know
So watch your
necessarily
head
those
by
points could be drawn
in
like I
this
could draw
window.
them
There
this
is if you
way.
stand up, there
I
are
could draw them
people. There
this
were people in
way.
that tower who
If
shot
you
at me
want, you
before.
could
I'm not sure they're
theoretically
still
draw them in
there.
3 pieces. You could draw this and then this and then
Help
this.
to
And
make
then
it
this.
have to look actually door shaped and vertical. Would that help the problem? Just put
I
that
mean,
restriction on
I
it.
could very, very easily fake it, which is what
Oh,
I've been trying
shit,
to avoid.
shit, shit, shit,
If I
shit,
just
shit,
did
shit.
this, and then I made like just spawned a quad of the same size, then it would look right. Oh, it would look okay. But then you can't have stuff like this where you draw
There's a
this,
window to your right, Chelsea.
and
That
well,
might be
that wasn't recognized
safe.
properly, unfortunately.
Ah,
I
shit, there's 2 of
also
them.
have a bug
Fuck.
in the. I have the bug in the corner code still. Well, that's not gonna work.
They know where I am, right?
But you can't have these
They
weird
have it
little
down
things, right?
totally.
Where like
They don't know
kind of the
exactly where
magic
you
comes
are.
from it. It slightly or largely matching your your
I don't know
drawing
how
shape.
I was able to run away from him. That was
I think your best bet might be where did you die, Jeff? Inside?
Pretty close to you. No. Like,
You think you're in that house?
no, I'm
It
How
could
outside.
definitely be possible.
how much did you enjoy drawing out the conceptualization of your code implementation on the real world?
It was fun. I do like
Damn.
doing it. Yeah,
Was that satisfying? Just
it was
do and
satisfying.
see.
Ooh, Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, the drawing is getting better. It's not quite there exactly yet. It still
Nice.
has like
Oh, he
these
has a thing.
fumblies going through it. And going
Fred's got a
Ah,
shotgun
son
guy,
of a
runs
bitch.
up and... Did you get killed by
No.
Scarmuccia?
No. Oh
That's
yes,
who I
yes I
got
did.
killed
Yes
by.
I did.
So I
Scarmuccia
need
got
to
me
speed
too.
up more.
He's a sneaky fucker. I didn't he'd not hear him at all, and he was like right on me. Granted, there was everyone shooting everyone above me, so I couldn't hear shit.
I should not have went for the bounty. That was dumb.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, God, I gotta fix that fucking corner algorithm. It's perfect on the fucking
All right,
triangle.
show me your code, Marcus. Wait, show me what you just showed Dave. Also, what are those what are those? Are those little doors or paintings or what is that?
They're basically paintings right now, but they're gonna be doors eventually. But basically, it's I was telling Dave it's surprisingly hard to to define the points that you need to tessellate to connect. So like if I'm drawing this square, I can detect the four corners, right? And just like we do for the triangle. And there are my four corners. But this is all the information I have, and I could draw those corners on a flat surface. I could draw them across this surface. I could draw them, on four different surfaces. It would all be different and really hard to tell.
I don't think
Which
you should
like
allow this to happen even in the rune game, like in the final version. I would say like on anything but a basically totally flat surface.
I don't love that because then the rune doesn't like if the rune looks right, I think it should work. But anyway, what I do instead is also like there are other problems of like okay, well what if you draw this and then release your finger and then draw this
I was gonna say
kind
I
of
was
thing.
literally gonna bring the releasing thing up before. You could also do a thing where you always draw a perfect door by hold down the left and then just place a single dot for each corner
Yeah, you could,
or
but
the
then that's
right.
not as cool.
No,
Like I
not
want
not
people to be able to
no
mess it
no
up
no.
too.
So hold down the right hold down the right first.
This
Just
is the left.
hold
I have
down
the right
just the right.
held down.
And then draw a single dot, and then press hold down the right and press once real quick on the left and let it up.
That's what I did right here.
And then okay,
And
and then continue to hold left. Does it not draw a line all the way to the next dot
no,
automatically?
if it ever did that, it should not do that.
Oh, it
The whole
always used
point
to
is
do
that.
that for. Hold on, I feel
Well,
like it's.
I've that was a bug I fixed a long time ago.
I
But
merged with
like the
you, so
point
maybe
was
it's
so that you
fixed
could,
now.
because otherwise you couldn't release. Like you would never be able to release because the classification happens um at the release of the right click. Um, anyway, so basically I have these points here. So because I don't necessarily know what orientation they're going to be in. I can't like I want people to have some freedom in the way they draw because the beauty is that you are drawing something and then it classifies your drawing. That's the cool part, right? So then I take those points and I project them onto a plane. Um, just the plane will be the normal of the drawing, basically. Um, and then when I have them on that plane, I then rotate that plane so that it's on the X and Y axis, and I rotate all the points with it because since now they're on the plane, they can sort of rotate together seamlessly. And once I have them in the X and Y axis, I can use some geometry to sort them into a clockwise order, not necessarily a specific clockwise order. Just I will know that the order that they are in is clockwise. Then once I have them clockwise, I sort one more time because I all I have to do then is identify which one is the top left one, and I can do that by finding the top two, the ones with the highest Y's, and then finding the of those two, the one with the less X, and that's the top left. And then everything after that basically once I have that and I have them all sorted, I then rotate them back into the proper orientation and tessellate it, because then I know where everything is.
Is that
The
actually
only
looking
problem with that,
through? Is the image that's generated there like looking through the actual? Is it taking a photo of the other side of this or something sideways, or what is?
there's
What?
a camera right here, like right here.
Oh, it's
So
just
this
always that
one,
camera right now.
well, this one is a render texture, but when I draw a new one, it steals the camera. So that is happening on this one right now. Right now, they're sideways because that can be fixed, but I'm trying to figure out a problem of. So you notice that this one is like, notice the orientation. This one is the exact orientation flipped. It seems to have something to do with when the Z and the x-axis are rotated slightly, but it only happens in one of these two orientations. So the problem is, like, when I rotate back,
Could that have to do? Sorry, could that have to do with? So you said
well, you'll
you.
notice.
Go ahead.
So here, these points here are when I project it onto the plane. I just needed to know that I was projecting it and ordering them properly, which here is red, green, blue, and magenta. So that is the order. Left, and it's the top left is red, and it's clockwise orientation. That's what it should always be at this stage. But the problem is, because I rotate it to get it to the XY plane, when I rotate it back, it does some fucking jumbling. So red, green, blue, magenta here.
That's what I
And
was
now
gonna.
on the
I was gonna. Well,
yeah,
you said you sorted them to get them in a
I sort
clockwise
them
but unknown
before.
fashion, and then what's the next step to figure out what's the top left? Could you be getting the wrong top left, and could that matter in this?
No, I definitely had the right top left, because these are the sorted points before I rotate it back. Red, green, blue, magenta. If they are in this order when I'm facing this direction, because X is to the right here, Y is up. So that's the XY axis. Then I know for sure that they are properly oriented. Um, and over here, you'll notice if I do it on this side, for example, well, that's when the corner detection fails, which I just have to fix. There we go. When I do it on this side, for example, so there's the picture. There are the points. If I flip back around so that we're facing the XY axis, let's see if we can find our red. Where is he? Here he is. He's being blocked by the thing. It's red, green, blue, magenta. So it's properly projecting them
So
onto the XY
you give
axis
them the red, green,
every
blue,
time.
magenta before they. That's not based on their
Well,
position.
so
It's based
then I
on.
have to I have to rotate it back to get it to face the proper normal again. But I need to get it onto the XY axis so I can identify which order the points are in. Um, so there are ways I could easily fake this. Like if I wanted to, I could just make a fucking quad and do it and handle it that way. But I don't necessarily want to do that, because then it doesn't look cool. It doesn't do this, like where I draw a real weird looking. This might not work because of the. Oh, there we go. But I draw a really weird looking one, and it mostly matches the shape I draw. Right. That's the effect I'm trying to go for right now.
Yeah, that is. I do
But if
think
I
that's
wanted
bad.
to
That's.
fake it,
It has to
yeah.
be. It has to have that
Oh
to
god,
be
look
cool.
at
But
your
I don't think it
creature.
always has to
Holy
be on
oh.
the. It always has. But I do think you could just do it on anything flat, and it would still be just as cool. I think the value you get from making it on like more than just a flat surface is not probably worth the extra amount of work you're gonna have to do to figure out how to do it that way. Maybe it's
Even
not as
that
bad
though,
as I thought.
honestly, I mean the work is already done. Like the only question is where the fuck, how do I right now the only question is how do I flip it back so that, like, I need to just account for this circumstance, or there must be something rotationally that I'm doing that I just am not anticipating why is happening. Like these, you'll notice these two are almost. It's only on like things that are facing exactly Z, or things that are facing Z that have a slight alteration in the X rotation.
What the
Because
fuck?
you'll notice that this one doesn't have the issue, and this one has a slight Y rotation that puts it off of negative Z. This one here, if I do it here, should work just fine. So like these are the rotate. Like right now, the UVs won't map it properly with the ground where it is because I was messing around with that. But it doesn't matter. All I need to know is that they're like this is the proper orientation, and then once I have it fixed to this, then I'll be able to do the rest of them. But like just about every other orientation works the way I expect with this gray part on the bottom.
Boy, I
Yeah,
tried to
same
launch the
thing
rune
here.
game to see if the line bug thing was still happening in mine, and it won't launch and it's making me enter safe mode. Never seen this happen with.
Probably because some code is wrong. So did you close out of the editor without when you saved, but didn't? But there was something wrong in the like
Yeah,
compile. Something doesn't compile.
looks like
That's usually what that
third-party
means.
mini first-person controller components. Oh yeah,
And this one is a perfect example of that. Like slightly off the z-axis, and mostly negative z-axis, and slightly off x-axis is why that one flips. But just about every other orientation works. So I can either identify the exact boundaries that are causing it to flip, which is one option, brute force method, or figure out the rotation shit that's happening that is making this do the thing that's doing.
that's cool though. That's neat. It's. I mean, positioning the camera to
I already
where
had figured out
walking through
basically
it.
how the rest of it. So the walking, well, these need to be higher res textures for sure. They're just low res textures now for the
Oh, this
sake of
isn't
it.
a cam. You thought you said it was a camera. Isn't? Is
There's
it?
a camera. It's right here.
Oh,
It's
you mean
right
low
there.
res texture then?
Well,
No,
this texture that it's rendering
once you
to
make
is
a new one, right, it replaces the other
well,
one. Is
this
that
is
what
a
you said?
text. The camera is rendering to a texture. The texture is only 256 by 256.
But that
Um,
changes the like. How do you get
well,
it so
look
the?
how pixelated it is. You can barely see shit here.
That's I guess sort
Like
of what I was getting at. How do you make it
I'll just change the like if I go here and change the render texture to 124, 1024. I forget what the 16 is. Depth.
basically my question boils down to how do you make it look like as if it was exactly at that point where the player would be looking, like how do you make it, you'll have to move it, right? Depending on where the player is positioned relative to it, right? You'll have to
Oh
move
yeah,
that
I
camera.
already figured. I think I know how to do that. So let me get this in here. So first, oh, let me get one that is not broken. There we go. Let's see how much higher res that is. Yeah. Anyway, so the way I imagine it working is, um, there is my. I think we might need 3 cameras for it. We'll see. So there's a camera that's on the player. We might be able to do it too. There's a camera on the player, and here's a door, right? And it's looking at the door at some angle. I calculate the angle between the sort of the look direction, the look angle from the door, and then somewhere else there's that interstitial space, right? Where you have like here's a thing, and let's say there's a bunch of doors in this interstitial space. I kind of imagine it as a cylinder, uh, with a bunch of doors lining the walls. And as you make more doors, the walls fill up more and more, right? And you're on the inside of the cylinder, so like that. But anyway, so I would take that angle and I'll put a camera right here too, um, and then have that angle match there. Basically, have it adjust based on the look angle from here. So then the render to this camera will be what actually renders to the outside of the door over here.
I'll be honest, as soon as you started talking about the cylinder, I kind of didn't follow, but like
Well, I think so basically I want the doors not to be like when you make a door, because you're going to be able to make a bunch of them. I think it would be cool if if there's a space. Let's find a space.
You want it to you want
If
it to look like it's down a hallway, and when you look down it,
No,
right?
I
Kind of
want it
like.
to look like a fucking cylinder. Like when you so here's like imagine that this is 3D and this is a cylinder, and here's a door, here's a door, here's a door, here's a door, and
Okay.
like if I walk through this door, then I would see these ones to the side here. And as I make more doors, as I draw more doors in the real world, not because the interstitial space you won't be able to draw in, um, you will see more doors pop up around this cylinder, which I think would be neat.
Oh, you're just talking about the
And it
hub world
also,
now, right?
yeah,
Like,
this
okay,
is the
okay,
hub
okay,
world, but
okay.
it's
I was
like
like, I
a
thought you were still trying to explain how the camera was going to be positioned on the other side of the thing to be at the right angle. I was like, what
no.
does this
That I
have to
mean
do with
that will
this
be
cylinder?
no. Well, that's just trying to give you an imagination for what the space will look like. But like if I have my, my wall here, here's my door, and I'm, here looking this way, then I'll take the angle that I'm hitting the door from, so from the door to me, that angle, and I'll position a camera uh, in here, and I will face it the same angle, basically. It won't be exactly perfect, but it'll work well enough, I think, for the illusion. Um,
In the rune game,
yeah.
you should just find this place and the thing. It is the place that teaches you the door symbol. It's just like there's all the doors around the cylinder, and then there's one empty space. You're just like,
I
yeah,
like to
okay.
imagine it too. It's like, okay, the first time you open it, like imagine, like in reality, in reality, the door was closed, um, or there were no doors, and there's some big bad meanie in here. Um, and then when you open the door, he escapes. Gets out. And maybe that's why you can go into the doors and he won't follow you because he doesn't want to go back in there. But yeah. I got some work to do on the rendering, but I'll figure it out. Very worst case scenario, I'll just brute force it and do a manual flip at the end. Just rotate it 180. That's not that hard. And that'll resolve it until I can figure out why it's doing it. I think like a big thing though will be like you'll know it's pretty obvious that looking here doesn't look like looking here. So like the brightness of this texture is kind of not convincing. Um, Figure that out. Also figure out the walking through stuff. We'll need to
That's
obviously
the
duplicate
yeah,
it, and then
that's gonna be that's the
and when you
part
be like,
that makes me think you shouldn't do it on anything but a flat thing. That's the part that's gonna be hard if you do decide to try and
well,
get it
even
work.
it'll always be hard. I think it's just gonna it'll be some method of like I'll have to do a double pass rendering method where like um where the first pass just renders both cameras, and then the second path I stitch together the two cameras as you go through based on how far your orientation and how far your camera is through the door. Uh, I'm sure that's how Portal does it. So I bet you there's plenty of documentation out there that.
Yeah, I was
How
gonna
does
say
that
I
Portal
know
work?
of several videos that will tell you how to do it if you want that, but although none of them do allow you to draw your own thing,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that we could theoretically figure out. You'll notice that like I don't know if this will work because of the corner detection, but like this is clearly blown out here, right? It's distorted because these UVs up here are going across a longer stretch from 0 to, I guess this is 1 technically. Um, but yeah, the UVs over here this is 0. Yeah, I guess when I come off, it'll do that weird wraparound thing. Like if I come out, if I lose the connection, that's actually a bug that I need to fix. But if I am not, if I go out of the drawing length and then let go and then come back, it'll snap a line to it. That's just a bug. But yeah, this is 0. This is 1. This is, oh, sorry, this is 0, 1. This is, oh fuck, no. This is 0, 0. This is 0, 1. This 1, 0. So this is 0, 1. And this is 1, 1. That's what it is. 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So this space is larger than this space, so this gets stretched and this doesn't. Which would be like, probably the way to fix that would be actually pretend to render this to just a square and then calculate the parts of the square that actually need to show in the texture. But lots to do, but how much time do we have in the bone jam? What's the
2 weeks or something, I think. But you
Yeah, we
said
got
it was
plenty
a
of
long
time.
time.
Yeah. I'll work on it regularly and see. Yeah, it ends on the 27th. So lots of time.
I'm sure you'll say no, but do you want me to link you any of those videos for the camera stuff, like the movement of the camera on the other side stuff?
Nah, I'd like to try to figure it out on my own first, and then if I can't figure it out, I'll look some stuff up. Um,
Doesn't actually look that bad. Give you a
I don't think
hint,
it
they
will
do
be.
it with raycasts. That's how they.
Mm. Yeah, well, that'll be the looking angle stuff for the
Yeah.
that's what the raycast would be. But yeah, and the hardest part is going to be the, like, I'm halfway through one door. What do I see? It'll be I think the way that'll work is basically I'll do double pass rendering, where the first pass I render the two cameras, and then what actually you see, the player sees, is a stitched together version of the two. Like I access the two render buffers or whatever, and then stitch them together based on how far through you are. But yeah, I just gotta figure out this fucking rotation shit first. I was thinking too, if we get like ambitious, we could do something like a keyhole symbol where it lets you peek through, but you can't walk through it. But
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would have to be.
Or maybe it just closes a door or something.
Yeah,
Deletes door.
It would be neat
Yeah, that
visually, but
actually
I
would
just
be
I
fun.
don't see, like, why would you not? I guess because there's a monster on the other side that could come through, I guess.
Yeah, well, it would just be like, okay, if is there a interstitial or like all doors go to the interstitial space, so it wouldn't be. It would really be like, okay, maybe this lets you look through a wall, not into the interstitial space or something. But I don't know. Well, I think the door mechanic is going to be enough to work on. To be honest, figure it out. And then we get to show off our fucking classifier for once, which will be nice. Yeah, we'll probably put a knob on the door training symbols. Would probably be a good idea.
I like
Or something
I think the thing, opening up a door and something coming out and you having to avoid it is I would use that for the rune game, but do you want to do something slightly different for the horror game? We don't have to. We don't have to. Um,
I like it for the horror game. I mean, I came up with the concept. It was designed for the horror game. Like it gives a very simple and stereotypical story, right? You've opened something, you've released something you weren't supposed to, and it's just done in a so it's a classic horror trope, and it's done in a interesting way because we have, you know,
I just do not enjoy that type of gameplay at all, personally.
mm.
Avoiding a AI
Well, it's a little
monster.
different now because you have the ability to draw doors. At that point, it's more of a your own little strategy game because you get to decide where you go.
I do think I think it works in the. I like it in the Rune game because I do like the little narrative it has. But I just I don't I was interested in doing this jam for trying to make something actually like scary. And I just I don't know. That stuff I bet can be scary. In VR, I bet that shit's scary. And with like real
And
good
I
models
don't.
and
The
stuff.
problem is, I don't think any game can be scary unless it's like I don't know,
Can
like
be in
what?
VR.
Yeah, VR, I guess, and like like if you're trying to do scary, you usually wind up just pull like the best you can pull off is cool. That's cool and atmospheric, but like
I think you could do scary. I think you could do a Lynchian thing. I was saying to Jeff actually, if I was gonna do as if I was gonna make a scary game, I would make it a David Lynch type thing where it's a very mundane game, you know, the kind of game where you're doing a papers please kind of thing, like working a job or, you know, relatively realistic. And then you start to see something unnerving and all the NPC characters are, you know, in the scene are just acting like it's normal. Like everyone sits down, like in Eraserhead when everyone sits down to dinner and the turkey starts bleeding out of its turkey vagina and everyone just like, I'm hungry.
yeah, that's a
That sort of thing.
classic horror trope too.
I don't
Sure.
see that a lot in games, and I was saying it might be neat to do a game like that, exactly like that, except with multiple people and only one of you sees the weird thing at a time, right?
Mm.
That would be fun.
We don't play a lot of horror games. It might be more common than like there's definitely this isn't the same thing, but like the Resident Evil, the zombies sitting down to dinner thing while you're there, but it's not the same thing. Like that's a these people are horrible and you are normal and you're sitting through it. That's what we were like. What you're talking about is more of a everyone's or you're seeing something crazy and everyone else doesn't see it.
I also think on top of that, it should be a drinking game where
Uh,
if every time a player says it should be called you guys seeing this and it's a drinking game and every time a player says to another player, yo, are you seeing this? They have to take a shot. 2 shots. 'Cause it won't be that often.
7 shots.
Um,
I don't know. I was really inspired by Mortuary's Assistant. I think that's sort of almost that. That's more. It's like kind of close to what I'm talking about, but not quite. Trying to think of other games I've seen people talk about or play. That might be a good example.
yeah, I mean, I don't think we have the time to do something that proper. At least here, like we have the time to do it because we already did a lot of the work, and and we're showing off the. Um, I feel like the mortuary assistant thing relies on a lot of lighting triggers and shit that we just well maybe we could figure out how to do it. I don't know. Like we don't even if we don't even make it, we could still do some cool stuff with it, I guess. Um, where like in the beginning you don't even realize you released something, or like you get a hint that you did, but you don't necessarily realize it, and then you have subtle hints that get less and less subtle over time. Like if you want to do that kind of thing, and that like I think that still works for this concept because the door thing is probably what I'll be working on the whole time. we are gonna need a monster. I don't know if Jeff or Dave want to design one in Blender, or if we want to go the like you don't see the monster route.
I would not mind doing it where like you draw it, you don't know, you immediately let it out. You go through to do something on the other side, and then you return, and it's just like all black in there now, or something, and then the scary stuff starts happening. I would always prefer just like weird shit happening to there is a big monster though, personally. But I do like it for the I do like the monster walking around thing for the rune game because I want the world to feel like it has things in it, especially since there's not, I don't think, going to be a lot of human.
So the thing could be
Yeah, I mean for the
you
rune
find
game.
out
Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
you find out how to make the door, right? You make the door, you go into that place. You're like, okay, cool. What the fuck's that? Maybe something like flies by you or something, or you see something in there with you for, if you're looking in the right place or something. But then you come back and your house or whatever is all fucked up and like different. Could be very
I would like it if the monster, or like
Yeah.
maybe there's just like
horror movie.
maybe when
like,
you're
oh
on the other
shit.
side and
Yeah.
you're just walking around doing whatever you're tasked with first doing on the other side, it does appear in your periphery, and we keep having it happen until we see that the player has moved its mouse onto the thing, sort of like a reverse
Oh, I
Enderman.
had actually
What
an
if
idea.
what if like you go out there?
Kind of goes.
What if you
with
go
this.
into the space and you don't notice anything, but then we set it up so that when you're looking back through your portal to go back into your world, you see it run by.
I had an idea for an enemy in Necro Skull that you can only see in your peripheral.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see it looking straight at it.
That's cool.
Like kind of like an
Or
Enderman, I guess, but like literally
or
can't see it.
yeah,
Goes
or
invisible.
an enemy. Another thing I thought of just as an offshoot of that is an enemy who
Ooh,
dies when you look at it. It dies when you look at it, so you can only be killed by it when you didn't see it.
Go for the periphery thing. You could do it like this. You could do it where you have like the player sees it right, and it's his periphery, and he's trying to he has two options to look at it directly. Although he doesn't really looking at a screen in real life, but either way, like he can either if he moves his mouse fast enough, this would work probably better with motion blur too. If he moves his mouse fast enough to get to the thing, that you just make the thing disappear, right? But if he moves his mouse like slowly enough, the thing will just like like creep towards the edge of the screen, you know? So there's like no perfect speed to ever put your mouse on it.
I mean, there could be something interesting about like if you could do like some sort of like kinematic, like IK, like this thing, Gumbies around your vision could be funny, and could be creepy if you could get the effect right. But
I also think.
I
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
really think actually though that it would be cool to have the you make a door, you walk through it, you turn like nothing, you go in there, maybe you see like something float by, whatever. But when you turn back around, um, you see the thing walking around in your world, through the portal.
Yeah, that'd be
Or
cool.
and
Like
everything.
a fucking.
Let's do you could do the periphery thing, and then if the player returns to the portal without having noticed without having put his mouse over the thing in the periphery, then, then you show it to them right at that point, because they're about to leave. You have to show it to them now. I'm dying.
Lots of stuff to work on, but I'll keep working on the doors and shit. Tomorrow, Sam and I are hanging out, but I'll probably be able to work on it Sunday all day. And
Dave, you should make a environment. You should make the hub. Circle hub thing.
make the hub. You could also make the the world.
You make
The
the
hub.
hub, I'll make
I
the
at
world
least
on
I
the other
imagine
side.
it being super simple, just a fucking cylinder with like I kind of imagine it just being a black cylinder with like
One of us make the hub, one of us make the thing on the other side of the hub, or of the door, I guess.
I mean the if we are going to make a monster that you can see, like that's someone should get started on that right away, because
I like the idea of not being able to see it. I think it
if
would
we
be
just
neat
make it like
if we could figure
lighting
it out
effects and
how
shit
to
like that, then we
get
don't
it
have
like
to. Yeah, then we don't have to worry so much about like people looking directly at it, and it can become like, you know, a combination of changing your lighting, changing your like a doing some post processing on your rendering on the screen so that you like get maybe tunnel vision and stuff, some sound effects and shit like that. Um, maybe some control weirdness. Um, yeah, but if we are going the route of it's a thing you can see, I feel like that needs to be done like started now because it's going to take forever to do that in Blender properly to find something scary enough to look at.
Honestly, what do you think about I could make, like a procedural wiggly thing. Procedural movement wiggly thing.
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, it depends on what you
I
want
enjoy
to.
doing that. That or an environment, I wouldn't mind doing.
Well, if for the outer environment, we need ideally closed environment that you can wander around in that has lots of hallways and doors and shit. Um, where it makes sense for you to like need to use doors to warp around, basically, right? Because like you could get to a dead end and the monster will have you, but if you go through the door, you'll be fine. Um, yeah.
I do kind of like the idea that it's just like, all the spooky phasmophobia shit except for the monster. Like it's just lights
Mm.
and noises and things like that. Might be fine. I don't know. I found a pretty good way to make caves, and it would work just as well with straight hallways and stuff in Blender, very very easily. Also I have like I haven't never tried like actually used them, so I don't know how they look, but I have like this huge ass modular castle thing, so I could
Mm.
use that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Castle sounds cool. So does if you want to do something in Blender itself, then that sounds cool. The yeah,
I
whatever
do think castle,
people
if we're
want.
doing for the horror jam and we're doing the monster, a monster thing, I am thinking, and we're not doing like a weird, like like a, sort of more towards the one I was pitching in the beginning. I do think maybe castle, and maybe be a little more campy and less, actually scary, just more fun scary maybe in castle.
Yeah, that sounds fun to me. Could do if we could do torches and have like the monster as it passes. Like the monster could still be a physical game object, and like just have the monster as it passes, like lights up the torches or something. Cool
So, do
way.
you want me to? You're working on this in the runes game right now because it is part of that. Yeah, should I
Yeah,
start
I'll
a new
carry it
project?
over. Well, yeah, we'll need a new project. I can pretty easily copy shit over that I need, so if you want to start a brand new one, that's fine by me.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
probably prefer to if I'm I just dragging all that castle shit in will be a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a lot of models with not that many polygons. But let's see.
yeah, go ahead and start a new thing. Like the classifier stuff, I just have to install a package and drag over the model and the rune
If we did want to end up
definitions.
using this
That's
castle
easy.
1-to-1 for the rune game, though, Um, how easy would it be to bring it over? Or should I just do it in the Rune project and we'll delete it if we... I don't know.
Yeah. If you do it in the Rune project, we should branch it so that
I
it's
need
its
to
own
do that
thing.
anyway, but also... But so... Do you want to show me how to do that, and then I could branch once for me? Because also a bunch of the lighting stuff that I was fiddling around with that I did want to keep, but I don't mind losing much at all. Is I, you know, I saved it when I committed it when I merged with yours basically, so it's just in
Hmm.
yours now. But I can
Um,
not push it and just get rid of it all. I guess that's fine. That's not. I don't
so
care.
I can make them for you, or you can make them. I don't know. I usually make it from the command line, but I'm sure you can do it from the app. Let me open it up. Branch. Here you go. Branch. New branch. You can do it from. So be on the branch that you want to branch from. Which for us, I guess, if you want to keep that lighting shit, go to line render interface, and then hit new branch, and then instead of main, click down to this will be, instead of door room test, it'll be line render interface, and then name it something. Usually best to have things named in one
You know,
word.
I don't care if I lose anything that I did. So I want to go. I think I might want to go back to my other branch. But some of it might be just in the version you have. Although no, I didn't push it all, right? So it shouldn't. None of it should be.
The only thing you won't have is the new line render shit, which is the better drawing stuff. Though you could pull that in if you don't branch from line render interface, then you won't have the
You know what?
line
Whatever.
render.
I'll keep it. But let's figure out
Okay.
first what's going on. Get loaded import asset artifact IDs. No, you know what? Fuck it. I made a script that I wanted to keep. Where is that? I started trying to do a mantle the other night, and it's very, very, very nothing but.
Man, though, whatever that fucking guy does, I spent fucking days trying to figure out the mesh cutting shit. To
Yeah.
be fair, it's only days. Like it could have been, who knows how long the guy spent coming up with it. But whatever he does, I just can't figure. Like the only thing I can think
Fuck.
of is he does this method called constructive uh, solid geometry, which is like where you define things in using simple primitives. Everything's a simple primitive, and then it's like then everything is like a combination of those primitives. So like if you have a cylinder and a block, and you define like where they connect or like their positions in the model space, and then when it's rendered, they're rendered together as one object. Um, and you can do addition and subtraction, or even the intersection of like where these two things overlap. Just render that part, the overlapping part. But it's so fucking complicated. Like the going from that to a mesh, although it can happen really quickly. Like it's made for super quick level prototyping.
Hmm.
Blockout is I guess what they call it. It's so complicated, the algorithms for it.
For cutting a mesh in half, you're saying?
No, cutting a mesh in half I could do no problem.
But sorry, what did
This
you
is for
what
the it's
for?
for like like what he does in Viewfinder, where
Oh,
like I have
oh, yeah, yeah.
this, and then I if I cut like this, how do I tessellate that basically? Where like this line, if this is a triangles I have, then I need to put a point here. I need to put a point here. How do I come up? And here, there's already a point here and here and here, right? So this point goes away, but now I have these points. How do you know exactly how to combine these? because you're tempted to go with like, oh well, just always draw a line to the closest like outer barrier, but that doesn't always work. Um, in a situation like well, I guess I could just use this. I don't know why you whatever. God damn it. I hate paint so much. I don't like that when I put something down, I can change the color of it after I
Yeah,
put it
I
down.
don't like that change either. That's only relatively recent in paint. And by relative recent, I mean like been around for probably 12 years.
But basically, if I did something like, okay, now the closest ones are all here, right? So then if I go just the closest thing, then this will go backwards, right? Um, if I try to go just to the closest one of these, then that works. What is it here? I drew it all out. Where's the... Does not have my picture. Oh no, it's all right. Like this one, the rule here would just be, you would think it would just be, okay, draw a line to the closest two, right? Closest two. But this one takes 3 points you have to connect it to. So you can't just do that.
And
But
then,
like the
sorry, what I'm
question of
looking at is
how
supposed to be all on the same plane. Sorry, it's taken a lot of my brain power to
this is
follow.
like this is a if I were to cut these, this is one triangle in a mesh, right? And this is all the possibilities of a single triangle. Like a mesh is drawing the triangles, right? So
Mhm.
if I have a quad, this is a triangle, this is a triangle, it makes this mesh, right? And a mesh is drawn with a bunch of triangles all together.
Mhm.
Um, so I figured if I can solve the problem on a triangle level for every possibility, then I can solve the
But so the
problem.
white triangle that
Then
you've drawn is represents.
the mesh. The green represents my cut,
So
what I'm
the
cutting
big
out.
the white outlined triangle is itself made up of tons of tiny triangles, right?
No, the white triangle. This is my example of a base mesh, because like I could have a quad, and the quad could be gigantic or it could be tiny. But the triangle itself can be huge. It doesn't need to be tiny. So I could theoretically cut a part out of just one single triangle. Um, But like basically these blue points are the points that make up the triangle that are defined in the mesh's vertices. Um, the white line is a single triangle because I figured if I can solve it for one triangle for all possibilities, well they are all just triangles, so it'll work for everything. I would just need to do it over every triangle that I intersect with, basically. Like easy, that sounds easy, but then
It does not
coming
sound
up
easy
with
at
a
all.
rule for all of these is extremely difficult. This one is the easiest case where it intersects, but none of the points themselves are inside it. Because then I find out which side's the bigger side, which is actually not that hard, and then I draw, and on the bigger side I cut it in half by connecting any of the red points to any of the blue points, or to the opposite blue point rather. Done, easy, not a problem. But the rules for these get confusing and crazy. So the yellow lines are like the new line, the new test triangles I need to make to render this properly. Because if I were to just, for example, cut this, I would need to get rid of the white part, like the white line that connects this hypotenuse here, needs to go away. And then if I don't have these yellow lines, if this is gone, none of this renders at all. It's just blank. It's empty. All of this becomes empty. So you need to render the points basically between where this yellow goes and up into this this pink here. Um, So actually, I wonder if I can go into edit mode so I can draw. Let's see if I can watch it. Anyway, so this rule, when it's 1 point, actually this is also kind of super easy. When it's only 1 point is inside the triangle, then I just draw a line to the triangle from every of the associated lines, basically. Easy enough. I would still have to figure out which lines connect here, which would be a slight pain, but I could probably figure that out by just what intersection is closest to what other vertex here, blue point, right? But here it's a 2 for 2, so each one gets 2 sets. And how do I know which two connect to which two dots, right? I could do the closest, but then what if
Could you just connect them all and then turn anything that goes through the shape that you're trying to make off?
you could, but that's gonna be way longer.
It is, but that would work, right?
You could, but it's not tedious. It's not trivial to check for these intersections. Basically,
Yeah, I
I
know.
had thought about that. I need something that works at speed. Um, Also, it's not super easy because
You're only gonna be doing this once, you know, it's not something you're doing every frame of the game though, right? So like, have you tried it
well,
that
it,
way?
it takes
Just
a while. Even just finding the parts that intersect drop the frame rate into like 10 frames a second. So I'll have to do it over a course of several. I'll have to either do it in the job system or do it over the course of several frames. So it's going to be a slow ass operation. And the guy that does it through Viewfinder does it in 2 seconds. Does it not even 2 seconds? That's exaggerate. That's like a terrible. That's supposed to sound short, but he literally does it in less than a second. But if I here select all, do this.
so you think it would take
Well,
more than a second to process if you did it that way? Is that
oh
what
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um. All right. So here's our triangle, right? And now, God, why do that? All right. And now we're gonna draw our square, and like, there's a. Okay, here we go. This is what we want. So we're drawing our square, right? And I don't know which ones are which right now, right? So I just pick some. Oh God, why did you turn green? Because fucking paint is bad, and it shouldn't do things it does. Okay. All right, now switch to my brush. There we go. All right. So here are our points, right? And here's the blue point. And if I draw a line to everything, oh, there's also points here, right? Because these points are the ones that intersect the line, so they have to be reconnected. And basically, like once I cut that, like this will go away for sure. And these two lines here, this line and this line, have to get reconnected to these points. That's actually easy to do. That's not a problem. But like, what if the first line I create is this line, right? Then if I try to go through here, that doesn't work. So we do that. We could do this. Okay, so that'll work for there. And then this will work here. I could do, but then I'd have to try this. I'd have to try. I guess this already works, so that's not fine. That's
I feel like
fine.
it'd only be like
This works.
30% more in almost any of these cases than what you're doing,
I
but
had one. I had a good reason. It's just I've done so many of these that it does get hard to
remember.
remember them all. Yeah. I have done this thought process, and there was a specific reason why it didn't work. I just gotta remember what the circumstance was.
I mean, I guess in the circumstance of, um,
So like, yeah, here I'd have to try. This wouldn't work, or actually this one wouldn't work. But this wouldn't work, right? This works. This works. So if I just do it greedily, this works. This would try here and fail because of the intersection. Okay, so I guess like what if I, well, I guess that's an intersection, so I could theoretically rule out the intersections, right?
Yeah, just do.
This theoretically works. Oops, hold on. I could rule out intersections always. If I rule out intersections specifically always, then I guess the most complex shape, right? Then at that point is this one. God, I hate this fucking control scheme. Why would you just make it change color like that? Who wanted that? Who said that's the feature? That's how I want this to control. When you could easily just undo it and do it again. Or at least make it like a separate
Be a
function.
man, fucking get the paint bucket out and find that tiny line and hit it, and accidentally sometimes get the white. Be a fucking man about it. Use paint like a fucking man. This is
Alright,
only a half sarcastic feeling that I have. Like, that is like kind of genuinely a almost real thought that I have.
Alright, so like this is the most wasteful one, right? So you have this. That's a fail. That's a fail. This works, so we keep it, right? Alright. And now we need to connect it to something else, right? So then like conceptually thinking about this, actually, we got to think, okay, so what do I connect this to next? It needs to connect to another blue dot or another red dot, theoretically.
I
In
bet
this
there's
case, when
math
they're all in the
about this.
middle,
I bet there's a math paper about
there is
this.
math about this. It's super fucking complicated math. I've looked it up.
Hmm.
It is, it's like an algorithm. It's insanely complicated algorithm. But like, because like sometimes, so like, look at this, like, so, well, I guess the like, because so this fails, and then I guess the question is, which blue do I go to next? This doesn't work, but this does work. If I just greedily connect all blues to all reds, what happens? This works. This works. I could connect this here. That works, right? This won't work because it fails. This works. This breaks. I'd have to detect the intersection here. So that's the other thing too. For all these, I'm not just detecting. That's the problem. Is this actually becomes a huge problem? Is because it's not trivial to detect whether this goes through a triangle's edge. Like every time I check, like every time I'm checking for, like, let's say I have this here. Every time I'm checking for this collision, I have to check this and this and this and this. And then I go to the next one, right? And even though this one doesn't collide, I still have to check that if it collides with any of these others. So I check this against this edge, against this edge, against this edge, against this edge, against this edge. So you get this. That's why it's bad. It's like a end of the fucking N, I think, is what it actually winds up being. Processing time, which is like the worst processing time you can have. Anything raised to anything exponentially is like a terrible processing time. That's why it was bad. I did try this, and found that
How
it
long
was
did it
just.
actually take? Like, just out of curiosity.
I didn't like I tried this. Sorry, mentally, not physically.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
not programmatically. So like imagine, okay, for a simple mesh, this might take a second, right? But like go look at the mesh on this fucking thing.
what about this? What about you just start at any point?
Look at this fucking. It's not even, this isn't even that meshy, but like if I cut through here, that's a lot of triangles. How big are these fucking things? Look how many meshes those are.
This is all low
And because
poly
we don't
stuff, so
limit
it's
the
not
size,
too bad.
uh,
But
and we don't limit the size of the Oh, that's something was big there. That's surprisingly big.
yeah, I mean
We
those
don't limit
are.
the size of their shit. You know what I mean? Like, um, of the runes. So because we don't limit the size of the runes, like they can draw a gigantic square.
Yeah.
Unless we want to make the caveat of, you know, they can't draw a gigantic square, and then maybe we could do the slow runtime.
You could do it
with
so that
that.
the symbol disallows it inherently. You know what I mean? Like something about the symbol just makes it impossible to draw big
Yeah.
accurately. Because we will have to limit the size. Like we will
There's
have
a
to
version
for
of
this
this
one.
game that is like, yeah, probably that we like probably the end version of this actual game really does probably have a size limit. Has an ink limit basically.
Honestly, I
Um,
would just make it so that it has to be on something of a certain verticality. Don't disallow drawing on the floor. It's not Portal. Like although jumping into
well,
something you drew on the
I
floor would
wouldn't
be
allow
awesome.
you to draw on the floor like that anyway because the floor you would just fall through the ground. So like the floor that rune will basically will fizzle out or whatever. It'll activate, but it'll just
It would be
end. And
really
like if
fun
you
to
were to
do
activate,
the Portal thing of like drawing something on the ground and then jumping down into it, but Portal's done it, so like who cares?
well, you could also still do that. You would just hit the bedrock, basically. I consider it bedrock. So it would just cut down that object, and then you'd have to cut your way out, um, which could be fun. I think that would be neat. But yeah, I think there's a lot to. I mean, you know, we could brute force it, and this could work. I just don't know how long it takes. The frustrating part is fucking Viewfinder does it. Uh,
Yeah, but that's its whole thing, and that's probably what they spent 90% of their development time on doing. Not
well,
90, but like a lot.
the guy came up with the mechanic in fucking college. He
Yeah.
dropped out of school. I looked up his whole fucking biography after, or when I was trying to figure out how this works. Um, he dropped out of college when this thing went viral, though, to make the game.
I hope he did really well.
It seems to have done well enough. It got like 8.5, which is supposed to be pretty good. But he made this in college. And it does this immediate mesh cutting in a way that is like super fucking impressive. And he made it in Unity. So I know it can be done. I just don't know how he does it.
I honestly wish he stuck with like I love this mechanic. It is the most original and best thing I've seen hands down in years in terms of puzzle mechanics. I just
Yeah, I
wish the
fired the
puzzles
shit
were
out of him
better.
in the video or the email I sent him.
Yeah.
I also sent him a video. Just, you know, that was just just a
Just
meme.
me masturbating. It's fine.
Like
Trying to catch his eye. You know, you gotta separate yourself from the
Yeah, from the pack.
wheat from the chaff.
I think like I really think that if he had stuck with a more simple art style and just like just with boxes and more stuff with boxes and balls and like rigid body physics and this it would have been the puzzles would have been better. I think there was too much of a and it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful game. But I think sometimes the puzzles suffer because the level's trying to be pretty.
Maybe it's hard to say. I haven't played it, so I do want to play it eventually. I just don't have money to spend on games right now. But yeah, like he cuts a hole in the world, and that's basically all I'm trying to do. I'm not even trying to do the rest of it. I just want to cut a hole in the world.
You did have
Uh,
one the best moment in the game. I shouldn't say if you can play 'em. There is a
Yeah,
there is a
I
great moment.
100% plan on playing it.
There's a great moment where you realize something about the way the mechanic works that you may already know it actually just from trying to figure this out so much,
Hmm.
but I won't
If
say it
it's
just in case.
if it's constructive solid geometry, like this makes sense for how it works, but like I don't know, like if he can implement constructive solid geometry by himself as a fucking college student, the guy's an actual genius. Like
I don't know what that is.
it's like conceptually it's simple, but implementing it is so fucking complicated. Godot actually has it built into it. Um, Also, Unreal has some version of it built into it.
What is
Um,
it? Like,
so basically, you define pieces that like go together, and like so this is a union, right? So then up this branch here is the union of these shapes that are defined in 3D space, and then here is a common. I guess this is like I don't know what the common thing is. It looks like it's flattening out, so where uh it's like this shape, but it's where only where it intersects, I guess. But and then this is, you would call it union, or like traditionally it's called subtraction. So it's subtracting the union from this one here to get these holes in there. But you still have to turn this into a mesh. But there's a way that they do it. Um, it might be through like ray marching. I think I've heard some people uh like through actual ray casting.
hmm.
Some engines do it. But there is a way to actually mesh this. Uh, and the algorithms, like just looking at Godot, because Godot's completely open source. Um, no, that's not what I want.
Marcus,
What?
it's Godot.
There's a Godot?
You uncivilized buffoon. It is Godot.
Godot, Chris.
Does look like Godot.
Pronouncing it Godot in my head when I was reading about it.
I only ever heard it. I
Uh,
never saw it spelled before I heard its name, so I would
why
probably
are
think
you not
Godot too.
showing me CSG? Here we go.
What the fuck
It's
happened to
searching the wrong
Construct
thing.
too? Also, like I like
All right.
there was a time when
So like this
Construct
is
was
the
bigger than Godot.
Godot fucking code for it. Um,
Yeah, that looks like a lot.
it's fucking 1,500 lines of complex math and and geometry. Uh, Look at all these fucking conditionals.
I can't really read it on my screen.
This is for, let's see what this method is. Oh, the CSG brush operation for mesh merging for BVH, whatever the hell that is. Boundary, probably something. What is BVH? BVH. Bounding volume hierarchy. Has a switch with a case, with an if, with a while, with an if, with another if embedded in it, that has even more ifs embedded in it. These conditionals, it's just insane how much shit.
Yeah.
Like if he can implement this on his own, that's insanely impressive.
Yep. There are people
That's what I
like
just
that.
wanted to know. I wanted to know if I was on the right track. If hell, maybe he does brute force it. How long does that, like when you take the picture and you place the picture in, um, in what you call it, in Viewfinder, is it instant? Is it literally instant? Do you even notice a slowdown, or do they make you stop for a second to do it?
No, it's pretty instant.
Yeah. Like that makes me think it has to be the constructive solid geometry.
You can drop off a cliff and put something beneath you, and there is no noticeable slowdown at all.
Like that is how constructive solid geometry works. Is unless he does like there is a constructive solid geometry package for Unity, and maybe he does use it. But
Is Unity the engine for that? I think it is, right?
I think it is. Well,
I
that's what he
remember.
made
I remember
the
thinking.
example
I
of.
think it is. Like, I remember thinking like the two puzzle games that I played and enjoyed this year were both in
We're
Unity,
both
and they
in
both did a
Unity.
pretty impressive thing. Like Humanity, it was just like the number of moving bodies on the screen was kind of incredible at times. It gets fucking nuts. And then this, and both of them were in Unity, so I was like,
Like this is an example of constructive solid geometry. Let's see. Hopefully he'll move this window so you can kind of see what I'm talking about in real time. But like, look, he just cut out a circle there. But like, this is an edger tool. I'm sure it could probably be used for. Um, it's supposed to be for blocking out, but it's an editor tool. I'm sure it could be used for, you know, real time, or I would hope it could be used for real time in game. But everything you make needs to be convex shape. Uh, no concave objects, or else it'll. All right, so let's see. I bet you now he'll like copy that window or something. Come on, get to a part where you make more windows. There you go. So see how he just moves around and it just automatically, because it's constructive solid geometry, um, there's like no computation time for moving this shit or moving the windows and adding more windows. It just carves the hole in the shape automatically. It's very cool.
I suppose you could also do something like this where, or maybe that would be the same thing as this. I don't fully understand. I mean, I get the concept of it, but I don't know enough to say about this. But like, if what if for Viewfinder the way it worked was everything that's cuttable in the level is one piece. It's one big mesh, right? And then when you take a picture, it just takes that whole model, puts it where that part of it that, orients it so that the part of it that you're placing the picture down is in the right place, and then just slices everything else off.
Well, I mean that's still the same problem.
Is it the same
The
thing?
problem is slicing a mesh, is slicing a triangle and figuring out how to put it back together. Like that mesh would still be made out of triangles. Also, like there definitely are things in like there are other objects in Viewfinder, right? Because things have rigid body physics that drop out and shit.
Yeah, there are those things.
But like regardless, the fundamental problem, I still believe that my theory here is correct. If I can solve it for all these cases, if I can make something that does it for all these cases efficiently,
Oh,
then I'm done.
I was gonna
I just
pitch
iterate.
something. It's not super efficient, probably, but it would probably be faster than the try everything and see what intersects method.
Mm.
But it basically is that method. But you, I'm just pointing out that like I guess you once one is done, or sorry, what was I gonna say? I can't remember now. At some point though, help me figure out how to fix all this GitHub stuff. I need to. I don't want to push anything to your thing, and I want to go back to, I guess, main. Was I on main before?
Probably, but you're technically not supposed to work in main. You're supposed to only merge branches. Like proper protocol would be everything's done in a branch.
The thing
When you're
is,
done with what you're working on in that branch, you merge that branch into main.
my lizard is in your thing, right?
It's in the line render interface. Yeah, you had to unlock.
Okay.
But you can branch off of that if you want to.
That is what I want to do, because when I pulled this your stuff last time, I was already on your line renderer thing, and I didn't know when I moved over. I just wanted to make sure the lizard was. I don't
Yeah,
want
the
to go.
lizard's in mine. I just have him turned off for now.
All right, then he's probably not in main, I'm guessing.
No, he won't. Main did not get hasn't been merged since for 3 months. It looks like.
Yeah, so I want to go
So
back to the lizard with yours, I
just
guess.
pull the line render interface. You already have shit in there, and you have the
But
lights shit
I
in
would
there.
push because I've committed things, and I don't want to commit those things to your branch. I don't need them.
I mean,
Really.
if you don't want those there anymore, then you can reset the branch, but you'll lose all those changes.
I know. I got the one script that I actually want to keep. I
All right,
don't.
so then
Oh, wait,
I
wait, wait,
think it's
wait. No,
just
we fixed
called.
something though, didn't we? Didn't we fix something? Didn't you walk me through fixing something?
If I did you push it?
I don't know.
We could check.
Check on yours, yeah. See if it was the. I mean, you could do it again. You could just do it again. I guess it didn't take that long. But
The last time you pushed on this branch was
a long time ago.
fiddling with my lizard.
Yeah. So
Um,
we'll lose that, I guess. But whatever.
but I don't have it right now, whatever it is. Oh, you know what it was? It was the layer stuff.
Yeah, that's what
That's I did. We did that in 2 seconds. We could do.
Yeah,
I could do it
okay.
again in 2 seconds. That's fine.
You should do it though.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Not a big deal.
Um.
All right. So I think for Git, I don't know how to do it in GitHub, but and you probably don't have Git command line, right?
No. Or maybe get it one time to try something. How would I
Just
know?
type in or open up a command line. You can do that by hitting Control or sorry, Windows key R and running CMD. And then type what is it, Git version? Yeah, type Git version and see if anything.
Or
pops
maybe
up.
I tried this and nothing. Yeah, no, I don't have it. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you did. All right. Then we just have to figure out how to reset your changes. Let me commit my shit here to this door.
I pulled the one
Alright.
script I want out, the .cs file out onto my desktop. That will be fine, right? I'll just be able to drop it back in where it needs to go.
Yeah, if you pulled it out anywhere, like if you pulled it somewhere else, then as long as it's not in that repo, nothing can happen to it from Git. It looks like you can just right click and undo your commits.
Under history or under
Yeah, and it looks like it just puts them right back in your stash in history.
undo commit. Oh, that's the merge branch though. Is that gonna fuck something up?
Where are you? Hold on.
Here, let me share my screen.
Yeah. Instead of stopping streaming, I accidentally left the call. Merge line render of yada into line render. No, that shouldn't fuck anything up because it looks like it's just I don't know, probably a pull or merge from some of your shit is probably what that is. So just undo both of those. And then go do that one too. Alright, and then discard all of these if you can. I think it's another right click, but you might be able to do it at the if you like highlight them all.
Alright, hold on. There's one. No, I still have them on for that, right? Okay. Let's get rid of all this.
Should be discard, I think. Discard them all. Alright, now pull my stuff.
Alright, I want to make 2 branches now. I want to make like a Chris branch and like a horror game branch.
Alright, so under the current branch drop down to the right. Yeah, that one. Do new branch next to the search button. Yeah. And then click down so that your branch is based on line render interface. And then call that whatever you want. And then actually before you do that, go. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say publish the branch so that it's up on the. Like right now, that's just a local branch. So publishing it just sends it to the remote. That way, it's just there. And then whatever this is gonna be called, doors, horror doors, whores.
The horror to the horrorer. Scary.
It's named Hordor.
Horror door. Someone's gonna go back and look at our Git one day and be like, man, these guys were so fucking offensive.
I didn't say that. I'm not that offensive.
Alright. Well, there you go. Now you're in your branches. Publish that too so that we can all access it. Anyway, now with my projection code, there's another option for the tessellation. It's called Delaunay triangulation, and it requires it to be in 2D to do it. To not make like a tetrahedron, but to make a triangle, like a. So I'm gonna try to implement that now. And that maybe will be, and that one is a n log n time algorithm, I think. So that is fast enough. But I won't do that until after the door thing or the horror game is done because that's first priority. All right, I'm gonna call it there though. I'm getting tired, and Sam and I are gonna hang out tomorrow. So.
Hold on. I'm just gonna pull these here castle things in. Oh shit! I'm recording for way too long. I'm gonna crash my computer.
Oh shit! Yeah, you told me to remind you. I didn't.
No, I was about switching scenes back, and I
Okay.
remembered. I just with Baldur's Gate and Remnant and other things on my computer, I'm very, very low on space to the tune where if I recorded for, it would be a while. It would be 9 hours or so, I think, before I might crash my computer. Sure would just stop. But...
If you want to work on putting together a level and also maybe working on some of the lighting stuff for the level, like just add lights in that can be dynamically altered easily, then that would be a good thing to start with. Are you gonna join the jam with us, Dave?
Say what?
Are you gonna jam with us?
Yeah, I'll tribute.
Do you have anything you specifically want to do?
I don't know. I will think about it though. We just came up with the concept, so
Yeah. In terms of like weekends for work, it's only this weekend and the next weekend because the end date is on the Thursday of the last week, 28th, I think.
We should just find game jams that we think would be like, okay, we could work the line renderer into this in a way that works. Like we could just like make the levels of the Rune game from game jam entries, basically, right?
Yeah.
Let's fucking do that. Why not?
There is a nice thing about the door to like you said that we could use it in the Rune game. There is something nice about it of like, okay, the other if we are still going the clone route of like he cloned himself, which I I assume we are, um, then like the other you trapped like found something, and trapped it in that interstitial space, and then you will be letting it out when you open when you find that rune, which is kind of neat. Um, so it could be like a way to have like a maybe even a mini boss fight or something, or not like a boss fight, but you know, dangerous encounter.
I
But the lore
definitely,
there
I do
is
definitely
interesting.
still want the clone thing, but I'm gonna push hard for the either the library thing or the like religious angle. One of those two
I think
things. I don't
everyone's
think.
on board with the library thing. There's
Yeah,
nothing
I
wrong with
think the
that.
library thing, and I'm willing to bend more to the scientific angle because I think it fits better with the library. But I do think that makes it so that the library to me is cool if if the U0 has made. I don't like I don't like this inherently, but it has to be for the library to work. I think is like he made a
Has
bunch
made a bunch of
of views. I don't
random.
love that because of Rick and Morty being so popular, but I do like it in the fact that like it really works for his motivation for creating the library and the idea that he's gonna wake up one day and like presumably not be able to find the right information because it's so full.
Yeah, there's
Or,
something interesting
or no,
about
no,
that
what
for
was it?
sure.
He wanted. Yeah, I guess he wanted. I. Yeah, I think there's going to be like it works less and less with the angle of he's like sabotaging you and has these traps all around. I think if that's the story, but
Yeah, we don't have to do the traps thing. I mean, the traps I don't think were ever for you. They were really. I imagine them being for the dangerous world, um, kind of thing. Like I always imagined you were made as a backup for him. Of like, I don't know exactly how it would work, but like maybe he like it's a way of slowing down aging. Like if he's clones you when he's 20, and then he turns 40 throughout that time, and then he goes and remerges with you. Maybe he would become 30.
I don't think we
I
need to
don't know.
think too much about the lore
See what
or even
happens.
why
Yeah.
there's a demon behind a door, right? It's a world with magic. There can just be a demon behind a door, like
Yeah, that's
and
fine. Well, I mean, I like it being behind a door because I like the idea that he put it there and trapped it, and like maybe and then you're releasing it, like
I do like the idea that
when you
you're
because like
releasing it, that someone put it there and you're releasing that. I think that is neat.
yeah, because then it gives you a like it also gives you like some of this magic is dangerous and stuff, and also gives this idea that there is this other guy that has been doing this stuff. Like in the when you find out that there is this other clone of you that has been that like someone that looks exactly like you, and you realize, oh, he must have used a duplicate rune on himself. You'll realize like you could think back and think and then realize, oh, he put that demon in there or whatever it is. Um,
I do think
Maybe there's like a journal entry that talks about him trapping the demon, or I don't know.
I
Maybe we
will.
don't have to
I
be that
can't wait
specific.
till we get to the end and get to make excuses for why all the things are in the world. That will be the funnest part of all this. No man, this is
We're
a
kind
lot of
of doing it
models.
as we go, right?
Yeah, we are trying to. That was the whole reason I wanted to learn Blender was because I was like, I do want to tell stories with every environment, so like I should be able to make my own environment. I finally got some pretty nice looking caves. Got a nice looking rock. So big story there. You had always said you wanted to be a story about a guy trying to escape from death. I think there's
Yeah.
there's also with the library thing. There's also an angle of like, you know, the search for ultimate knowledge, or maybe he just wants to. Maybe he thinks, maybe he knows he won't figure out enough about magic to reach immortality if he doesn't do it this way, right? And is there like a tragic or not? You know, is there like a Twilight Zoney like, oh, like I was saying before, like he gets all this shit in the library, but um, it's just too much for him to pour through, but so much
Yeah,
so that he would need immortality in the first place to be able to see it. I think there's something like that.
yeah, there's something there. I was thinking the death thing or him being afraid of death thing because it would make sense for why he would clone himself. And it's a good motivator. And I feel like you rarely get like that's a pretty common trope, but you rarely get to play from that trope where you're playing the character that is wants to live forever.
When you say good motivator, do you mean morally good? Like, or
No,
do you
no,
just mean like it's a good tool for
it's a
storytelling?
motivation. It's a motivation for why he would have wanted to duplicate himself. It's a good reason to have duplicated yourself.
Gotcha. This is not.
It's a reasonable reason to duplicate yourself. All right. Well, I am going to call it for now. I will be around to talk through text and shit tomorrow. But I will be around to program and stuff Sunday. Good night.
No, this castle thing is not on the asset store anymore. How can this be deprecated? It's models, right? How can that be deprecated? I don't know how to find this. I just put it in, but There it is. Here we go. Go. Fuck, did I not get all the textures for these? Redownload. It's gonna suck if the only things with textures on it.
Look at they put it on the store without textures.
Off the store now.
No,
Exist
where did you get it
anymore.
from?
Got it for like, I got it for like 40 bucks when it was like 200 or whatever on a sale from the store, but it's like a year or two ago. But not all this stuff is coming in. Okay, this one.
I want a hot dog.
Honestly, this is pretty much like already done. These are all like one giant piece. Make some terrain to get some of it. Alright. Work on this mostly tomorrow.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force. You in deep thought or something? Hello? This silence is getting awkward. You're awfully quiet. You okay? You were awfully quiet. You okay?
Or what Walter said. They were acting like a parent, worried their children are playing with something they don't understand.
So, they're strong-arming us for our own good? That doesn't sound very divinely benevolent to me.
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please. Still need to lift another set today. Been dragging. Shoulder stiff.
Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
I have something for you. When you have a moment.
Star Parcel freighter to unknown vessel. I haven't. The Star Parcel's fleet's got a load of these aging Deimos monsters. Built like tanks, but well past their warranty. It's gonna take hours to fix this, if we can get the engine back online at all. Sorry, if you step foot on... I got a hot packet, they'll dock my pay if it doesn't get to its... Star Parcel will reward you well if you can... Eventually, sure. And my Star Parcel always knows how to... Excellent. All you need to do is drop... They'll take it from there. Thanks for bailing me out.
Let's put this bird on the ground.
Greetings. Captain, do you require my assistance? I will follow. Consider this victory cause for celebration. I have detected hostile life nearby.
kick complete. Orbit steady. Well, you didn't put us into a planet, so we must be in the right place. Beginning landing cycle.
I am detecting mineral deposits in this region.
Pardon.
advisable. defeat is extremely high. This encounter will likely end in your death. You will.
Mateo, are you having a... What if the Starborn are right? What if our hunt for the artifacts is a fool's errand? You think we're doing the wrong thing? We just want I'm sorry. I just hope that this...
Hate to interrupt. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts, got the nods and signs from Sarah and... Console parts. Replace... Won't be going alone. Need more than just the you and I. Ask her... Going to take a lot of hands to shore up the Eye. The fixing is going to need your help. See you on the station. Got a few others heading up to help out.
You're cleared for travel.
Lend a hand? Grab a couple of wrenches and let's tighten. Just grab a wrench. Should be quick. That's done it. Go on. See who else needs some help.
My attention's glued
Setting
to
up
the
some
station
software.
monitors.
Want to
Check
test the
others.
computer over there? Help Vladimir code up this. System the first time.
You color the wrong wires. Station showing red. Nastier than I measured. Figured a few of the parts might be iffy, but...
Knew I should have fixed that faulty code when we worked on it the first time, Vlad. My past comes back to me once again. I can stick around until it's sorted.
No need for the martyr's clothes, but I'm happy. As for you, while we're giving the Eye the swords, need to...
I have no objections.
Don't want to worry any. Captain Petrov owns a salvager vessel called... Reached out through my hand-to-hands to see if we can do an honest swap. He says that think we're gonna need a crow. He's got a reputation for... Left the life of a Jacobons behind myself. I know what I'm asking. but I see a clutch prize not up for... Not sending you lone hook on the job. I want Sam with you on this one. You two will be foot to foot the whole way. Catch a smile on